That's pretty good.
Do you think Terence Crawford is approaching you in the proper way?
I think he's wanted the fight and doing respectful, you know. I want Canelo.
Dos, tres, cuatro. Eso. Enjoy.
Canelo Alvarez has responded to Floyd Mayweather training with Terence Crawford. After footage of the duo surfaced,
Canelo Alvarez responded to the footage of Floyd Mayweather training with Terence Crawford. Canelo, seen focused and working hard in the gym, was asked about it and simply said, "Enjoy," showing he's not bothered and is fully ready for his own challenges.
Eso. Venga. Cinco, venga. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. Eso. Enjoy.
Shakur Stevenson recently talked about meeting Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford. He expressed his admiration for Floyd, sharing that Mayweather values being around genuine people, which has made their bond stronger. Shakur added, "We're so close now," showing their growing friendship and mutual respect in the boxing world.
Seeing Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford all in the one place, and I know you put that together. You've played the game, and you put yourself in a position there to sort of create a moment. And there was a few viral moments from that clips outside. What's that sort of environment like for you? I get the feeling every time I speak to you, you're so locked in. Do you not feel anything when you're around everybody in the gym and you've got to do them spars?
It kind of just feels, back in the day, like if you asked me this question, I probably would tell you like, oh, it was so amazing. It was, but now I'm kind of so used to like,
regular.
Yes, it feels so normal. Like honestly, that's why me and like Floyd is so like close now, because it's like I'm a genuine person, and he don't like he like genuine people around. So
Canelo Alvarez, often seen as the face of boxing, spoke about Terence Crawford's respectful way of calling for a fight. Canelo acknowledged Crawford's interest, but appreciated that he stayed respectful, avoiding negativity or trash talk. Canelo emphasized his earned spot in boxing, saying, "You never know, maybe one day I wake up and want to fight that guy." This shows his openness while asserting his status as a respected champion. Recognizing Crawford's achievements, Canelo stays respectful to all fighters and the sport's integrity, hinting that a future fight is possible.
He went on the rant. Teddy Atlas.
what's that mean?
He said you're the most overrated Mexican champion in history. He said that Salvador Sanchez.
Boxeador mexicano.
Más popular,
pero sin causa. Sí.
Fucking crazy, that guy. and you think he knows boxing? Fuck.
When Terence Crawford said that he moved up and won, and Canelo moved up and lost.
They talk all the crazy stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won.
I don't think that was a strong point, because Canelo Alvarez actually moved up and won. I mean, he moved up a lot of weight classes, but if you want to talk about light heavyweight, he moved up and he beat Kobe. Then he moved up again and he lost to Bill. Terence Crawford, on the other hand, he moves up to 154. He won 115, 113, but it was against the 11-0 Madrimov, who didn't really have much of a resume, right? But there's a difference, to be real. I mean, Bivol is a Hall of Fame. Okay, this guy, all-time light heavyweight. It's a bit different. Canelo did knock out Kovalev when he did move up. Okay, and Kovalev is a bigger challenge at light heavyweight than Madrimov at 154 for Terence Crawford. Let's just keep it a bit.
Canelo previously said he wouldn't drop weight to fight Terence Crawford, explaining that it was Crawford who wanted the fight, not him. He mentioned that people would criticize him for facing someone too small, and pointed out that Crawford is a different kind of fighter, making the matchup less appealing.
Listen, Canelo needs to understand he's a different fighter now. The deterioration is there. He's not the same guy. He's not that destroyer who's looking for knockouts early and keeps a pace and a pressure on you. He throws 30 punches around. You're not the same guy. So telling everyone you're going to knock them out and then going into, 6 decisions in a row now? Scores a knockdown every time, power's still there. The problem is the pace and the ability to carry on and push. That's the real difference, and that comes with age. He's 34 going on 45 at this, as far as I'm concerned. He's got a ton of fights, been around for a long time, doesn't have that same desire, the same drive to take the chances against these younger, bigger guys, because he is fighting younger, bigger guys. So you got to keep that in mind as well.
When he fought Canelo and he was like standing right in front of Canelo and Canelo's just whiffing, it was a life lesson. And then you look at how good Canelo's head movement got after that fight when he realized it. I mean, my God, when he fought Danny Jacobs and Canelo's just standing right in front of him, bobbing and weaving. That's all what he learned from fighting Floyd.
Promoter Eddie Hearn has shared similar thoughts, expressing concerns about the size difference between Canelo and Crawford. He mentioned that a fight between them might not earn Canelo much credit because of Crawford's smaller size. Hearn stated, Canelo will not get any credit for beating a lightweight, highlighting the idea that Crawford is too small for this matchup.
I don't think it's a fight Canelo really wants, if I'm honest, because I think he feels like he won't get a lot of credit beating a light middleweight. And Crawford's going to move a lot in that fight, which is not ideal for Canelo. But what's his options? I mean, like, you know, if Bivol wins, he could fight him for undisputed. That's a very tough fight. What's the other options? You know, Benavidez is up at 175. Obviously, His Excellency wants to make that fight, so guess we could see it next.
Boxer Shakur Stevenson has shown strong confidence in Crawford's skills after meeting both Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. Stevenson said people are underestimating Crawford, believing that it's not weight but skills that decide a fight. Stevenson confidently stated, I think he can beat Canelo because weight doesn't matter. Skills pay off.
I'm like this nice because of Bud. Like, me, truthfully, like, I done got better through the years. Like, not even just being in the ring with him, but even being outside the ring. Watching his demeanor, watching what he doing in his sparring, watching his training camp, how hard he trained. Like, dog, I owe Bud a lot, so I'll never even talk about too much sparring.
Yeah, I got you.
Shakur, everybody just keeps saying, bro, he lighting the ass, the weight. I'm like, yeah, all right.
Yeah,
what do you say about that?
I think skills pay the bills.
Yeah.
And I feel like, truthfully, he's not as little as people think. Like, people think he's like very small.
He cut weight to get to 147, 154.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's not as small as like people think. It's just he look like it.
Yeah.
So like if you see him in
person
and he get on a scale or something, you wouldn't believe that's his weight.
I told somebody the other day, he might get on the scale weighing like 166, 167 fighting Canelo, and people wouldn't believe how ripped up and cut up he'll still look. He won't look like he's overweight Terence Crawford. He gonna look like a solid Terence Crawford.
I think he beat Canelo though. I've been saying I remember when he fought when they fought. Go watch an interview after the fight. I literally said I think Terence Crawford would beat Canelo.
Okay, I wouldn't say that.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Canelo Alvarez has repeatedly stressed the importance of weight classes in boxing. He believes every fighter performs best at their natural weight. In an interview, Canelo said, Terence is at his weight class for a reason, suggesting Crawford's best performance is at 147 lbs. This shows Canelo's belief that moving up in weight can affect a boxer's effectiveness. He also said Crawford calling him out isn't a big deal because everyone wants to fight him. Boxing legend Floyd Mayweather also shared his thoughts, reflecting on his own experience fighting Canelo. Mayweather mentioned Canelo was in his prime when they fought, while he himself was older.
Crazy that, Canelo said that, because when Canelo fought me, he was in his prime. And when I fought, I was an old man. So I wasn't in my prime when I fought Canelo. I was an old man when I fought Canelo. Just like this right here, young guy, even though I'm old, I got a lot of experience. I'm gonna go out there and just show him that this is the elite level and it's something totally different.
Mayweather said, I was like 40 years old when I cooked this dude, hinting that Canelo might not be as tough as people think. Mayweather's comments add an interesting angle, given his undefeated record and ring experience. In response to Crawford calling him out, Canelo downplayed it, saying everyone wants to fight him, so it's no big deal. He said he's open to fights that make sense for his career and legacy. Canelo added, if the money is right, I'm in, but admitted he doesn't like fighting guys like Crawford because he moves a lot and the fight is boring. This shows Canelo believes Crawford's style doesn't fit his preferred matchups.
I think Crawford don't get me wrong. He's a great fighter. But for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight.
for me. Easy money. So if the money is right, I'm in, because I don't like to fight guys like Crawford because he move a lot and the fight is not that great. I saw Crawford the last fight and he don't move that much now. So yeah, if the money is right, I'm in. Why not?
How you think he did at that weight, at 154? How you think Crawford did?
They are a weight class for a reason, and you need to ask him. It's different. I know in his mind he think he can do whatever he wants because he's very talented fighter. He's a very good fighter. I like how he fight, but that's why there are weight classes. And he knows now.
Canelo has questioned Crawford's resume, suggesting he's only beaten one notable fighter. He hinted that Crawford's record lacks depth when it comes to top-level opponents. This shows Canelo's skepticism about whether Crawford is truly ready to face him in the ring.
Are you tired of people asking you about Terence yet?
No, look, I always say, I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter like Errol Spence is. But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. He did a really good job with Spence. He did almost look very easy. But I knew Terence Crawford is a great fighter. But you never know in boxing. We'll see.
After Canelo's comments, Terence Crawford's trainer, Brian Bomac McIntyre, stood up for his fighter's record. He argued that Crawford is so talented, he makes his opponents look average. Bomac said, "Crawford makes everybody look normal. It's his talent that makes every fighter seem ordinary when facing him. This shows how much confidence they have in Crawford's superior skills and ability to adapt."
I'm going with Terence Crawford. Big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. It ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I'm not betting against Terence Crawford against nobody else. You got to show me that you can beat him.
Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult broke down the fight, calling Terence Crawford one of the greatest of all time. He argued that the weight difference between Crawford and Canelo won't really affect Crawford's ability to dominate in the ring.
Just a few weeks ago, you heard what Terence Bud Crawford had to say on why he wants to take on Saul Canelo Alvarez.
I just want the opportunity, to fight the best fighter in my generation that's out there. He's the most accomplished fighter, and I would just like to, fight another great.
Which is a very noble reason. I mean, it's a reason that I can get behind. If you notice, his primary reason isn't money. He did say it'd be the biggest fight, which, you do want a big fight, but I don't think he meant monetarily, which the money comes, okay? But what he's saying is he want to test himself versus the best. And I think he's telling the truth here, right? Of course you want big money and stuff like that, but I think his swan song is just him testing himself up against the very best. Those are the reasons the boardroom can get behind.
Mikey Garcia shared his thoughts on a possible fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, focusing on the challenges of weight and size. He pointed out that Canelo fights at 168 lbs, while Crawford recently moved up to 154 and faced some struggles. Garcia said, "Canelo isn't dropping below 166 at most." While recognizing Crawford's incredible skills, Garcia predicted that Canelo's size and power would give him the advantage, suggesting that Canelo's strength could overpower Crawford's technical abilities.
That has to be made. How do you see that playing out?
I'm not a big fan of that fight matchmaking because they're too many weight classes apart. And although the skills, Crawford is one of the best fighters that I've seen. I called him yesterday when I met him up that night there. at the dinner, I'm like, dude, you're a badass. Like, you've been a badass. You don't always get the recognition because of, you know, the politics in boxing and the favoritism here and there. But he truly does have the skills, and he's a great fighter. He's proven it multiple times, obviously. Now, Canelo is, you know, fighting at 168. Crawford just moved up to 154, and he had some trouble with that in that fight. Now, where do you plan on going? 164, 65, 66? Yeah. Canelo ain't gonna come down to 160.
Yeah,
Canelo ain't gonna come down, you know, maybe 166 max if he accepts.
Yeah.
I think Canelo wins that fight based on just the size, you know, power and size. Now, skill-wise, I think Crawford's a better skilled fighter, but the difference in size will be the deciding factor.
Social media star and boxer Jake Paul also shared his opinion on the potential fight. He finds the matchup exciting because of the weight difference, noting that fans have never seen Crawford fight at such a high weight. Paul's comments reflect the public's curiosity about how Crawford would perform against a strong opponent like Canelo in a higher weight class.
Just give me your opinion on how that fight plays out.
Man, it's interesting because of the weight class. We haven't seen Terence go up there, and will he have the power? But I do think that Terence has the skill and is a bit fresher than Canelo. So if I had to put my money on it, I would probably go with Terence.
I think Canelo destroys him.
Really?
I do.
Wow.
I mean, but most people think that, but they don't know.
I don't think
Canelo's
that
not
happens. I think, Terence is just super talented at adjusting inside that ring. The weight will play a part. We'll see that when the fight happens, but I think that fight is going to be a lot more interesting than most people think.
Who was the hardest puncher you ever faced?
The highly anticipated fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford seems to be heading for a September showdown, according to ESPN's Mike Coppinger. There's also talk of a major fight card on Friday, May the 2nd, possibly to avoid clashing with Canelo's usual Cinco de Mayo weekend fight. If this schedule is correct, fans could see Canelo fight twice this year, with Crawford possibly headlining the second bout. This timing brings back memories of Classic Friday, night fights adding a nostalgic twist to modern boxing. A Canelo versus Crawford matchup would definitely excite boxing fans worldwide.
So you can't look forward past Saturday, but do you feel like a fight like Terence Crawford? I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
You know, everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better, no? Terence Crawford is a great fighter, he's a good fighter, but you know, like I say, he's a weight classes for a reason. You know, I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and then you never know what happened.
Yeah, for sure.
Just a few weeks ago, you heard what Terence Bud Crawford had to say on why he wants to take on solo Canelo Alvarez.
I just want the opportunity, you know, to fight the best fighter in my generation that's out there. You know, he's the most accomplished fighter, and I would just, you know, just like to, you know, fight another great.
Which is a very noble reason. I mean, it's a reason that I can get behind. If you notice, his primary reason isn't money. He did say it'd be the biggest fight, which, you know, you do want a big fight, but I don't think he meant monetarily, which the money comes, okay? But what he's saying is he want to test himself versus the best. And I think he's telling the truth here, right? Of course you want big money and stuff like that, but I think his swan song is just him testing himself up against the very best. Those are the reasons the war room can get behind.
In a recent interview, a boxing expert expressed confidence about the Canelo versus Crawford fight, dismissing any concerns about weight differences. He said true fighters focus on skills, not excuses. If you accept the fight, get in there and fight. For him, it's simple. Boxing is all about skill, not weight limits or unnecessary complaints.
Be great. That'll be 3 times. If you go 154 and win the belt, that's 3 times super. Then I said, chase super greatness. Come on, Canelo.
160.
Well, if he can get in there with Charlo in like his next 2 fights where he still got age on his side, then maybe go up again. Like if he's trying to chase the greatness. But I mean, he already done something that's never been done. Charlo don't want none of that smoke.
Terence Crawford, I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better. No, Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but like I say, he's weight classes for a reason. I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and you never know what happened. Next.
Yeah. The possible fight between Canelo and Crawford has become one of the most awaited events in boxing. Fans are excited to see how the EUA match would play out, given the fighters' different styles and weight classes. Some fans are so sure of their predictions that they're placing big bets on the outcome. For example, boxing commentator Showbiz the Adult has reportedly bet $30,000 on this fight, showing just how high the stakes and excitement are for this potential showdown.
Check out the projected odds that came out. One of the odds projectors say Canelo is opening up as the favorite, -130. Crawford is +100. That's damn near 50-50. Another one says Canelo Alvarez is the favorite, -185. Crawford is the underdog, only +55. Let me tell you something. If those are the odds on my booking come day one, I'm max betting Canelo Alvarez. I could give a damn. If y'all mean to tell me that y'all think it's 50-50, I'ma empty my account on Canelo Alvarez. I don't have to bet KO, none of that shit. If y'all think it's that close, I'ma empty my account. $30,000, I can give a shit. I'm about to come up. I was gonna bet on Crawford thinking he'd be the huge underdog. Y'all got it that narrow?
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more next time.